Hello and welcome to the Daily Mail for Saturday, the 5th of November. Remember the 5th of November? Well, I doubt it, because we played out a very unmemorable game, a 0-0 against Hull City at home. And they had a man sent off, and more on that later. You can see in the picture there's little Ryan Woods grappling and pulling on Jay Cooper. There's a nice picture they've chosen there, the wrestling match at the Den today. And the ref did nothing about it. So Millwall and Hull played out a goalless draw in the Sky Bet Championship on Saturday afternoons from Millwall FC.co. Oscar Espriminan was shown a straight red card in the first half for the Tigers at the Den, but Millwall could not find a second half winner, despite having a goal ruled out through offside. Tom Bradshaw's header. Garrett made 3 changes to his lineup for the visit of the Tigers. The Scott Malone replaced the suspended Murray Wallace, whilst Bradshaw and Tyler Burry on his 50th appearance came in for Andres Vogelsama and Mason Bennett, who both dropped head to the bench, which included Isaac Olofi. After the typical emotional remembrance commemorations were completed, a highly charged Den were nearly gifted with an early goal, but after a short corner routine made its way to Zion Fleming, the attacker's shot was blocked. Hull's first effort of the afternoon went the way of Estupiñán, but with 9 minutes played, Jules Jong was equal to the forward strike, parrying it away from danger before the ball was eventually cleared. Just a minute later, a long throw from Fleming was flicked on by Charlie Cresswell and into the path of Jake Cooper, but the defender could not get enough purchase on the ball, directed past Nathan Baxter. Cooper then remained upfield for a cross, but he directed a header wide. Fleming then sold his mark and whipped a ball into the box, but no Millwall man could get a touch. Long had to be on guard on the 20-minute mark as the Tigers threatened. Firstly, Ryan Longman's cross had to be tipped over the crossbar by the goalkeeper before a Jean-Michel Seri shot was blocked, and Longman's flick from close range had to be gathered by the stopper. Cooper was wrestled to the ground inside the area shortly after, as referee John Busby was unmoved. Before the Lions' biggest chance of the half fell at the feet of Fleming, but his free kick on half hour grazed the side netting. With 10 minutes to play until the half-time break, a fantastic flowing move between Bradshaw, Saville and Fleming almost ended with the latter prodding the ball home from yards out, but Baxter rushed out to save. Hull were then reduced to 10 men on 37 minutes in the final action of the half, as Estupiñán was shown a straight red card for elbowing Cresswell. Elbowing him? Kicked him in the face, mate. He raked his face with the studs, didn't he? Elbowing him? Did he do that as well? Inevitably, the Lions started the second period on the front foot and had the visitors camped in their own half for a while. They were unable to find a way past the solid Baxter, who claimed a number of crosses. Malone's cross went all the way across the penalty area and found Danny McNamara lurking at the back post on 63 minutes, but the right back took a swipe at thin air, for Mill did have the ball in the back of the net a minute later, but the assistant referee ruled a combination of Fleming and Bradshaw to be in an offside position as the latter headed the ball into the roof of the net. A triple substitution just past the hour mark saw Bennett, Vogelsama and Callum Stiles introduced into the play before Fleming's cutting pass over the top looked for the run of Bradshaw, but the striker was unable to reach it. Vogelsama's cross was nodded towards goal by Bennett as the Lions looked to up the ante with 20 minutes remaining, with Stiles and Fleming both then striking wide. A powerful Malone drive had to be tipped over by Baxter as time began to run out, and with no further clear-cut chances, the Lions were made to settle with a frustrating point on their own turf. And the Millwall team was as follows: Long, Cooper, Malone, McNamara, Cresswell, Saville, Fleming, Burry, Honeyman, Mitchell, Bradshaw. And the subs were Evans on for McNamara in the 86th minute, Vogelsama on for Saville in the 65th minute, Bennett on for Burry in the 65th minute, and Stiles on for Honeyman in the 65th minute. And the last sub was Shackleton on for Mitchell in the 86th minute. The unused subs were Biakovsky and Olofi. And the match stats there: 2 bookings for Hull, straight red card as well for a stupid man, a stupid man. And the referee who didn't give anything against Jake Cooper when he was being wrestled. I think at least 3 or 4 times in the game. His name was John Busby, and probably one of the worst referees we've had this season, to be honest. The crowd pretty decent of 14,488 when you consider the trains were all fucked up as well, and 707 Hull City fans. So there you go. Now moving on to the match report from southwarknews.co.uk. Obviously not going to read that because we just read a match report, even though there were a couple of errors in there. You're going to read the takeaways. Some similarities and some differences. Millwall's lineup was similar to the one they put out on Wednesday evening, with a couple of small alterations. Everyone knew that Malone would come in for Murray Wallace, while the majority of the players in front of him were also expected to keep their place. However, it was a surprise to view Vogelsammer dropped in favour of Bury, although both struggled to create any real opportunities. Did it change anything going forward? Not really. I said in my preview video that I expected a number of changes. I surmised that the changes that happened for the Huddersfield game were to because Birmingham are the better team out of the 3 teams we're playing this week, and he wanted the better players to play against Birmingham, and they kind of did, Saville and Bennett, but that meant he had to rest them for the Huddersfield game and the whole game, which Huddersfield were bottom of the table. The squad players should have come in and done enough to not lose that game, but it was absolutely abject. And against Hull, obviously we've got Honeyman and we've got George Long. They used to be at Hull. I imagine they wanted to play. They had a point to prove, so I expected changes to take place. Not a whole raft of them, at least 3 or 4. And Vogelsammer was very disappointing. He's been disappointing when he started games, to be honest with you. He looked absolutely amazing coming off the bench, and that's the way it is, isn't it? When you come on against high defenders, you're going to look good. But when he started, he didn't look the best, to be honest with you. A new challenge. Millwall hadn't played a game against 10 men this season until Hull rocked up at a 10. While many fans see it as a clear advantage, it isn't always the case. The Lions had to reorganise in order to find different spaces to exploit, but they never managed to really get into the right areas. A good practice perhaps, but maybe not an ideal situation, as it forced the Tigers to camp into their box the entire second half. At this level, to be honest with you, if a team is trying to just defend for more than probably 20 minutes, they should expect to concede. If they're just defending, if it's all backs to the wall, no one's up front, they keep hitting it long but no one's there to receive it, and the ball just keeps coming back. How long can you do that for? That 20 minutes? And when Neil Harris was manager at the end of his tenure, that's what we were doing. We would go one up and then try and defend, and it didn't work. Like, we were trying to do it for 60 minutes, for 45 minutes. You can't do that. Certainly not this level. So the fact that they tried to do that for 45 minutes and we didn't score is kind of worrying. So, a flat finale at the Den. Rout was keen to finish on a bang in Mill's last home game before the World Cup, but it all went a bit limp. The Lions weren't bad, but they were incredibly blunt up front. The excitement value at the Den was next to nothing. Time for some shooting practice ahead of Preston away next weekend. Yes. Zion Fleming again having a massive amount of shots. Only one on target. So that free kick, that was so close, that free kick that he decided in. The goalkeeper was lost. He wouldn't have got to that. That was like literally probably 4 inches the other way, 4 inches closer to the right. That would have been absolutely amazing goal. Just wasn't to be, was it? Just was not to be. Okay, Sarah. So, now moving on to the events of the game and what people have been saying. So, obviously, the new Hull City manager, or head coach as he is, Liam Rossignol, He says Stupinan doesn't deserve a free game ban after a red card against Millwall. Hull City manager Liam Rossinia understood why Oscar Estupiñán was shown a straight red card in today's stalemate at Millwall, but reckoned it was no more than a freak accident. The Colombian striker was sent off before the break after a high boot, not an elbow, high boot to the face of Charlie Cresswell, which left the Leeds United lonely with serious facial injuries. Millwall couldn't make the extra man advantage count as they drew 0-0 with the Tigers. But Rossinia said he can't see the player, so it's not a challenge. He's tried to take the ball down, so it was more of a collision. I can see why the referee's given it in terms of what it looks like. I feel sorry for Oscar because he's saying sorry to me and all the lads in there. It was magnificent for the first half an hour in terms of the energy he brought. The biggest thing for me to understand is why it was given. I just hope it's not seen as a dangerous or reckless play, because he's tried to take the ball down. It's just an unfortunate incident. I will speak to the referee after the game, just to see what his view is, because there's a difference between a one-game suspension and a three-game one, which would be a big hit to us. So obviously, Estupiñán, he's their top scorer. He's got 8 goals so far this season. This is a bit of damage control. He's trying to get his ban reduced from a 3-game ban to a 1-game. So, because there are different ban lengths depending on the incident that you get sent off for. So, do you want to see what Charlie Cresswell looks like tonight? Here he is. You ready for this? If you're eating, maybe swallow your food, because this is not going to look pretty. And that's no slight on Charlie Cresswell's looks, but this is seriously messed up. There you go, look at that. That's Charlie Cresswell there. A massive blue eye, black eye, and stitches in his head. What was that, 4 stitches? So yeah, absolutely incredible. That's what he's looked like. Now Charlie Cresswell obviously got that hit, but carried on playing till the end, which is good because we don't really have a central defender on the bench. I wonder what the situation would have been. Would George Evans have to play in a central defensive role? They're trying to switch the formation. Then there's more quotes from Liam Rossinia, but I don't really care about that. I just wanted to show you Charlie Cresswell's face and what he looks like now. Now, hopefully, he will be fit in a week's time for the Preston North End game. But we will see. That might not be Millwall's decision to make. It might be a Leeds decision. He might have to get checked by the doctor. But we will see. Hopefully there's no fractures or anything like that. I don't think so, but we will see. And I just want to say about Charlie Cresswell, obviously, start of the season, he played a couple of games, made some very obvious errors, and was dropped from the team. And Hutchinson got injured. He's come back in. He's played very well since then. So he's obviously focused a bit more, learnt something, figured a few things out, and he's done very well. And the fact that he got this nasty injury and he decided to and wanted to carry on and play till the end of the game. Fair play to the lad. Absolutely fair play to him. Made of some strong stuff, and but let's hope he cracks on and he gets better and his face heals up and he's doesn't look like that anymore. So moving on from that to Gary Rout's comments. Millwall boss Gary Rout on 0-0 draw as they failed to break down a gritty 10-man Hull City. Millwall manager Gary Rout felt that Hull City deserved some credit for denying them a championship win, but also that Oscar Stupiñán's red card deprived them of extra space. The Lions were largely toothless against the Hull side that went down to 10 men in the 37th minute. Estupiñán was shown a straight red card for a high foot on Charlie Cresswell. Yeah. So we know all about this. Let's get to the quotes from Gary Rowett. So it's the third match in a row that Mill have been unable to score. Yes, that is worrying. Huddersfield, we lost 1-0. Birmingham, we drew 0-0. That was our first away clean sheet. The silver linings and all that. But this game, whole game, Hull at home, drew 0-0. Now remember, I told you in yesterday's video, Hull have only beaten Millwall at Millwall 4 times. So it's a game we generally win, and we didn't win. So that's not good. Rowett said, when they have a man sent off, the game is pretty even up until that point, and there's little space on the pitch. In my opinion, it's reckless, even though he hasn't meant to do it. He catches Cressy in the face, and he needed a lot of stitches at half time. After that, you just know what is going to happen, and they are going to drop in. They're going to test our patience and make it hard for us to play through them. They did. They defended brilliantly. Any ball that came into the box, they managed to get their head on it. Whereas you expect sometimes for us to create more of a threat with the amount of balls in the box we had. With 24 shots and 10 corners. Is that what we had? 24 shots and 10 corners. Holy fucking shit. We didn't score. We were pretty much dominant, as you'd expect with these statistics, but you got to go and put one in the net. The one we did, I think it was just offside. We ended up a little bit edgy. The whole stadium ended up a little bit edgy. As much as we feel it was an opportunity missed, we're not going to win every home game. The championship doesn't work like that. You have little spells where things don't quite go how you want them to, the relevant quality. Asked what he felt Millwall should have done better, Rowett replied, just move the ball a little bit quicker and more precisely. Even just a little pass that goes 5 yards behind someone, they have to go and get it, and it allows them to get into their shape. We started to get our fullbacks higher up the pitch later in the game, particularly Scotty Malone's side. It's just down to that last little bit of quality. You can't swing the leg for them, choose the right shot or make the run. You hope one of the players instinctively, in very, very little space, finds that bit of quality. We got into good areas around the edge of the box. You hope someone finds a shot that either gets a deflection or finds its way into the net, because you're not going to get much space to play into pockets and around them. It was difficult to do that. Frustrating afternoon, but also you have to hand a lot of credit to Hull, who defended for their lives for their new manager and went away with a clean sheet. Yeah, well done, Hull. Well done. Yeah, well done, you fucking cunts. Now, moving on. Millwall boss delivers verdict on the offside goal. What do you think he's got to say about this? So the Lions managed just 6 shots on target from 24 efforts. So yes, we had 24 efforts on goal, and only 6 of them on target. That is a quarter. That's a quarter. So that's fucking piss poor. Gary Rowett has admitted that Tom Bradshaw's second half goal was rightly ruled out for offside. Supporters were frustrated by the fact that the Welshman's close range strike was disallowed for a narrow offside, but Rowett agreed with the decision that the officials made despite the controversy at the time. I think he was just offside, Lions boss said after the goalless draw. I haven't seen it back, but the lad said maybe he was just offside. Again, it's a shame. We've had a couple of those this season where, just as we break the deadlock, it's an offside goal. We've had enough opportunities to get the ball in these areas. Maybe we lack just a natural target man in those last 10-15 minutes of the game. The ball goes into the box. I saw it last night with Ched Evans. He gets a little glancing header and it goes in the bottom corner. We couldn't quite find anyone to go and find that finish. It was always going to be a Struffy finish. It was always going to be a ball that drops to one of ours, but I would say that Hull defended really, really diligently all of the second half. So there you go there. Maybe we lacked just a natural target man. So, of course, with the injuries to defenders at the moment, what we have been doing is pumping balls up to Jake Cooper at the end of the game. And you couldn't really do that because Cresswell and Cooper are the only central defenders we have. You probably could have, if Malone was on the bench and Murray Wallace was there, you could have brought Malone on, played on the left. Murray Wallace could have gone inside. Cooper could have gone up front and acted as a target man. But are we seeing here? That is, maybe I'm reading too much into this. We're obviously coming up to Christmas, and obviously after Christmas you get January and the January sales, notably transfer window. So is he obviously managers always want just a couple more players? We just need a couple more players. That's it. And if we get those players, we can start winning games. They always say that, and you never get a manager who says he's absolutely happy with all of his squad and he doesn't want to buy any players at all. So is this Gary Rowett maybe trying to get Angle for us to sign a natural target man? Maybe. We'll see. If he does, I would imagine we'll see some of the youngsters go out on loan to help fund the wages for that. But who will that be? Djukovic, the geezer at Birmingham, someone like that. I don't know. We shall see. Do we need a missing jigsaw piece? Matt Smith's gone on to Salford. He's not doing terribly well there, despite it being in League Two. So obviously we need probably a target man, but someone more mobile than a chest of drawers. But yeah, Gary Rowett says it was offside, and we shall see because we haven't had the side-on view. We've only just had the normal view of it. So Tom Bradshaw obviously was involved in some other situations there. Coming off the pitch. This is from londonnewsonline.co.uk. So what was that about? What happened there? The Mill strikers 2 second half pitch exits explained, and he risked ticking off for the first one. Mill manager Gary Rowett has explained why Tom Bradshaw twice had to leave the field of play in the second half of today's 0-0 draw with Hull. And the Lions boss admits that the former Barnsley and Walsall front man would have been in hot water for the first reason if their opponents had scored while he waited for a clearance to re-enter the field of play by referee John Busby. First, he didn't put his pads on, which was pretty stupid of him, said Pratt. Because if they ended up scoring at 10 versus 10, I would have been pretty disappointed. So he didn't put he took his shin pads off at half time. Didn't put them back on again, or was he changing from one to another? I don't know. That's kind of weird, but whatever. I mean, you've only got like a 15-minute break. Like, you strip down and have a fucking shower and then go out again in fresh stuff. I mean, kind of weird, but whatever. Then for that second one, he had a cut. It was just stripping down his ear, so again, he had to come off for that. Bradshaw had a goal struck off in the second half. Yes, we know about that. I think he was just offside. Yeah, so that's basically the same. That's the same quote there, but yeah, then it's a bit more than what we had in the previous story. So I think that's it for the post-match comments. Just wanted to share with you this. This is from millfc.co.uk, and you can own a Match Worn Millwall Poppy Shot. So Match Worn. So if you want the one with Bradshaw's blood on it, if you want to get his DNA and clone him for your Sunday League team in 18 years time, here you go. Match Worn Poppy Shirts from Millwall's game with Hull City are up for auction. And I imagine you will know if they're Match Worn. Because Creswell's one and Bradshaw's one probably most likely have blood on them. But we will see. So supporters can now bid on the shirts worn by their heroes, with all proceeds going to the Royal British Legion. Perhaps George Long's goalkeeping shirt takes your fancy, or maybe Zion Fleming's top one for you. You can place your bid on any of the starting 11 plus substitutes, with bidding closing at 3 p.m. on Sunday. On Saturday, the 19th of November. So this one is 2 weeks' time this time. I think the last one was a week. This is 2 weeks. So let's have a look and see if anyone's bid for Bradshaw's bloody shirt. Literally, not figuratively. Will it load? Yeah. Yeah, it's loaded. So these are Hummel shirts as well, aren't they? Let's have a scroll down. So, what have we got? I don't know what that is there with the framed one. Whose shirt is that? Just a random shirt in a frame, or it's just a frame. Oh, is it just a frame? You're getting yeah, it's just a frame. So you're getting the frame. I hope people know that they're just getting a frame. Okay, but it seems to be the top bidder. Let's get back and have a look at the shirts. So, currently in the lead is Simon Fleming with £190. Oh no, Danny McNamara £250. Zion Fleming. Hang on, what's happening here? There's two from Zion Fleming. Oh, did they change shirts at half time? Is that why they're. That's kind of weird. And the shirts aren't even the same. Oh no, my apologies. This is finished. This was the last time. So you can see here it says finished, finished. Ah, that was Millwall versus Blackpool. Yes. Sorry, this is kind of confusing. So this one's here. You're going left to right, not top to bottom. It's going left to right. And then if you want to see the rest, you have to click. It's kind of fucking retarded, to be honest with you. Why are they showing us ones where it's already finished? If it's done, it's done. You know what I mean? But let's have a look at this and see this anyway. So last time out against Blackpool was 256 for time Fleming's shirt. Is that the most? That was the most. Now currently we have Zion Fleming on 190. Tom Bradshaw on 200. See, someone does want his DNA. Billy Mitchell 301. Wow. Why? Why though? And then 101. And anyone else? Obviously, Biakovsky and Olofi did not play, so that's just match issued ones. So there you go. Currently in the lead, Billy Mitchell 301, and you've got 2 weeks to bid on these if you want them. Who's so you got British bid, you got Dutch bidders as well. Interesting. So look at all the bids for this. Some people have been bidding it up. Oh, you know what happened? I think maybe it's the same person. Same couple of people, and someone's bid for it, someone else has outbid him, and he's like, not today, son, not fucking today. He's rebid. Maybe that's it. But there you go. Yeah. So if you want it, matchwornshirt.com. Let's have a look. If you go on that, probably just search for Millwall in the space there, and it'll get you to it. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.